Welcome to the next session on Lean. Lean encourages action along a broad front by empowering people at all levels to contribute. This allows organizations to welcome challenges and implement improvement initiatives. Lean tools and practices such as process mapping, Kanban, Kaizen and 5S help us standardize a process or eliminate waste, and often we see results within days. 5S can help us structure our environment so that problems can be identified more quickly. While Six Sigma focuses on reducing variation and the standard operating plan, Lean focuses on improving the process flow and reducing the process complexity. There are some intersection or common objectives between them, and that includes reduction in waste, removal of non-value added work and cycle times. The concept of lean thinking was introduced to the Western world in 1991 by the book The Machine That Changed the World, written by Womack, Jones, and Drews. Lean manufacturing was developed by the Japanese automotive industry, with a lead from Toyota and utilizing the Toyota Production System, or called the TPS. Lean is a philosophy that seeks to eliminate waste in all aspects of a firm's production activities, human relations, vendor relations, technology, and the management of materials and inventory. Some of the wastages are formed due to transportation, inventory, waiting, movement and defects.
Every company needs to understand what value the customer places upon their products and services. It is this value that determines how much money the customer is willing to pay for the product and services. This leads to a top-down target costing approach that has been used by Toyota and others for many years. The value stream is the entire flow of the product's life cycle, from the origin of the raw materials used to make the product through to the customer's cost of using and ultimately disposing of the product. Only by a study and clear understanding of the value stream and its value add and waste can a company truly understand the waste associated with the manufacture and delivery of a product and/or service. Lean thinking advocates supplier and customer partnership and radical supply chain management to eliminate waste from the entire value stream. One very significant key to the elimination of waste is flow. If the value chain stops moving forward for any reason, then waste will be occurring. The trick is to create a value stream where the product, like raw materials, components, sub-assemblies, never stop in the production process. Where each aspect of production and delivery is fully synchronized with the other elements. Carefully designed flow across the entire value chain will tend to minimize waste and increase value to the customer. The way to ensure that nothing is made ahead of time and builds up work-in-process inventory that stops the synchronized flow is to use a pull approach. A traditional Western manufacturer will use an ERP style of production planning and control, whereby production is pushed through the factory based upon a forecast and a schedule. A pull approach states that we do not make anything until the customer orders it. To achieve this requires great flexibility and very short cycle times of design, production, and delivery of the products and services. It also requires a mechanism for informing each step in the value chain what is required of them today, based upon meeting the customer's needs. A lean manufacturer sets his targets for perfection. The idea is to systematically and continuously remove the root causes of poor quality from the production processes so that the plant and its products are moving towards perfection. This relentless pursuit of the perfect is key attitude of an organization that is going for lean. Consider a visit to the hospital and the kind of engagement that is done with the staff, systems and procedures. There are many cases where the waiting has to be done so that the queue is maintained. This wastage becomes more severe based on the criticality of the situation. So from the start to the finish it involves both the value-added time and the non-value-added time. The triage, tests and treatment are the only value additions to the customer. Everything else is a waste which he might be made to pay for.
Developing the value stream is the key in a lean process. Does this product provide the precise value sought by the customer? Is the value stream for this product, that is the actions currently required to design, order and produce it, and is it value creating? Do the design, order and product flow continuously through the necessary activities to reach your customers? These are some of the questions that the value analysis should lead you to.
Process mapping. Your value stream is all about detailing the specific actions that are taken throughout your entire process or a specific portion of your processes. Here a step-by-step approach is taken up and the time taken is studied. The flow is evaluated for value addition for the customer or not, and the total time taken is then compared to the value addition time. Here 80% of the time spent is a waste.
After mapping the value stream, we seek to identify those value-adding and non-value-adding steps and delays to allow us to eliminate or at least reduce those steps that cost us money and increase our lead times. The objective here is to move from the current state to a future state by eliminating waste and by adding more ideas for improving the process.
The value stream shall start by assessing the current state of their operations, then will be guided in creating a future state map and implementation plan. The end result is a step-by-step strategy for building lean value streams to achieve operational excellence. Always collect current state information while walking the actual pathways of material and information flows yourself. Begin with a quick walk along the entire path to the value stream. Begin at the shipping end and work upstream. Ensure benefits. Check to ensure that the benefits expected have been obtained. Review each change made and analyze benefits. Organizations pursuing lean conversions have realized that improvement events alone are not enough. Improvement events create localized improvements. Value stream mapping and analysis strengthens the gains by providing vision and plans that connect all improvement activities. Thus VSM supports in developing a better state and eliminate wastage.
Waste elimination is one of the most effective ways to increase the profitability of any business. Processes either add value or waste to the production of a good or service. To eliminate waste, it is important to understand exactly what waste is and where it exists. While products significantly differ between factories, the typical wastes found in manufacturing environments are quite similar. For each waste, there is a strategy to reduce or eliminate its effect on a company, thereby improving overall performance and quality. Non-value adding is everything done in the process which contributes no value for the customer. Here the customer is forced to pay when they buy the product or service. Here an assembly line in a car manufacturing process is considered. Could you find what is value addition and what is not? You will notice that most of the steps are waste. However, the current state is such that you are compelled to go through all these steps. Takt time is the maximum amount of time in which a product needs to be produced in order to satisfy customer demand. Takt time is the rate at which a finished product needs to be completed in order to meet customer demand. If a company has a takt time of 5 minutes, that means every 5 minutes a complete product, assembly or machine is produced off the line, because on average a customer is buying a finished product every 5 minutes. The sell rate, every 2 hours, 2 days or 2 weeks, is the takt time. It is also apt now to learn about 2 other time that is critical in Lean: lead time and cycle time. Lead time clock starts when the request is made and ends at delivery. Cycle time clock starts when work begins on the request and ends when the item is ready for delivery. Cycle time is a more mechanical measure of process capability. Remember, lead time is what the customer sees. VSM, or value stream mapping, is a planning tool to optimize results by eliminating waste. Before starting a value stream map, it is important to remember that it is a map about how one particular project is being worked on. In other words, we are mapping the flow of work for a particular project. We are not mapping the amount of time people are working on different projects. There is not one way to create a value stream map. But having led hundreds of folks in creating value stream maps, I've seen this 6-step process work pretty well. Consider an example for request to build a new software for insurance management system. It starts with the request phase: approval, requirements gathering, a sign-off on the requirements. This is followed by the analysis of this requirement, a detailed design of the system. This design is then reviewed and the code is developed. Finally, the code is tested and deployed at the customer location. This is the first stage in the development of the value stream map. The second stage is the identification of the total time that each of these processes take, and here you need to see this as an independent entity. Now break each of the entity into how much time it actually takes to do this activity and how much it takes to support or wait or waste trying to do this activity. For example, approval would be check of 4 critical values and a high-level flow which actually takes just 20 minutes to do. But many a time this does not happen, as he has to wait to pick up this activity, since it's in queue. This is followed by waiting time for a call that the customer has to give, and all those tasks makes this activities to be delayed to a stage where the current task will look like verified. Now consider the transportation between each of the activities. You should specify how much time is spent on moving between each of these activities. Also to be considered is the iterations that are necessitated due to rework, repair and rejections. It compels the whole loop to be repeated until all the issues are resolved.
The worth of VSM becomes self-evident during the analysis phase. Once a business or manufacturing process is drawn as a series of steps and described in numerical terms, the inherent oddities and inconsistencies become evident. The first analysis performed is to compute a ratio of total customer value adding time to total process time to see how customer effective is the process. Often this figure is in the single digits. A low customer value-adding ratio indicates a process design without the customer's wishes being considered.
Opportunities for improvement readily present themselves as the analysis is conducted. When developing proposals, it is ideal if that the users of the process are included in identifying the solutions so they take ownership for the future implementation. During the analysis, simplifications in process steps are identified, procedural changes to stop wasted actions show themselves, and equipment and process modifications needed to increase throughput rates become evident. The selected improvements are included in the redesigned future state map of the process. Thus the value stream is the sequence of processes from raw material to the customer that create value. The value stream can include the complete supply chain. Value stream mapping is an integral aspect of Lean. To summarize, let us repeat the 7 wastes that needs to be considered in lean. This could be delay and customers waiting for service. Duplication, having to re-enter data, repeat details. Unnecessary movement, poor ergonomics in the service encounter. Unclear communication, having to seek clarification, confusion over use of product or service. Incorrect inventory, out of stock. Opportunity lost to retain or win customers, and errors in the transaction and lost damaged goods.
To start with, lean must never be seen as a tool for headcount reduction or mindless cost cutting. This fundamentally misses the purpose of lean, which is to create value through eliminating waste. As companies improve their processes, they should be able to reallocate their productive resources to new value-creating work. There are several benefits of lean production establishment and mastering of a lean production.